I'm ready.
Hi everyone, I want you to consider the amount of times you perform a task behind the wheel, whether it be putting on lipstick, changing the radio station, eating on the go, or answering or responding to a text message. Raise your hand if you've ever done one of these tasks or have seen others do it behind the wheel. Were you ever a passenger while someone was texting and driving? If so, how did that make you feel? I know it made me feel very unsafe and scared. These simple tasks are some of the most dangerous tasks that we do every day on our way home from work, to a friend's house, a doctor's appointment, you name it, we do it every time we're in the car. No one considers the amount of time it takes to look down at your friend's text messages. That one text you feel you need to respond to takes a minimum of 5 seconds of your attention off the road. If you're traveling at 55 miles per hour, that's the length of one football field. A lot can happen in that amount of time according to textinganddravingsafety.com. It only takes just a few seconds to crash into a car in front of you or even the median. We only need to look away or be distracted for 1 second to crash, and just like that our lives could be over because of something so stupid we thought we needed to do. Throughout this speech, I'm going to talk to you all about texting and driving statistics and facts that will make you think twice about texting and driving. Something else from textinganddriving.com is that you should consider is that in 2011, at least 23% of the crashes involved cell phones, which is about 1.3 million crashes. A crash typically happens within the first 3 seconds of it being distracted. Within the 1.3 million crashes, about 500,000 people in those are injured, and roughly 6,000 lives are taken too soon because of either someone or their own stupid mistake to text and drive. These all could be prevented if we just put our phones down, paid attention to others driving and the cars around us. Did you know that text messaging makes car crashes 23 times more likely? Dialing a phone number and driving makes a car crash 2.8 times more likely. Talking and listening on the phone makes it 1.3 times more likely, and reaching for a device or any other object makes it 1.4 times more likely to get into an accident. Texting and driving is an everyday occurrence in our lives. I'm constantly texting my friends about where to go and meet when I'm at my house, but I don't need to do that when I'm driving. Teens are very attached to their phones, and I know I am as well. It's just how our generation communicates these days. But we do not need to be using our phones while we're behind the wheel to communicate with our friends. 13% of drivers between the ages of 18 and 20 are involved in car wrecks and admit to texting or talking on their mobile device at the time of the accident. 34% can say that they text and drive, and 52% say they have talked on a cell phone while driving. Also, 82% of Americans between the ages of 16 and 17 say they own a cell phone. 9 in 10 expect some sort of reply within the first 5 minutes of sending a message. So this world makes teens believe that they should text and drive to meet that quota, but you don't need to text and drive to answer that message. On to the next topic. Letting people think texting and driving isn't a problem. Sorry to say, guys, but it's a major problem. Sadly, 77% of young adults are very comfortable or somewhat comfortable that they can text and drive at the same time. Yes, texting is very easy, but when you're driving, it is not as easy as when you're sitting in a house to text someone. Also, 55% of adults claim it is easy to text and drive. If adults and teens claim it's so easy to do, why do they spend 10% of their time driving outside of their lanes? If adults and teens claim that this is so easy, but why are they still getting in accidents? If adults we look up to are doing the stupid tasks behind the wheel, everyone is going to think they can do it also. According to Texting and Driving survey from AT&T, 97% of teens agree that texting and driving is dangerous, but yet 43% of them still do this task. 43 states prohibit drivers from texting and doing other things behind the wheel. I always say that older people shouldn't be driving because they don't have the reaction time as younger people do. But according to teendriversource.com, teens have a reaction time of a 70-year-old while they're texting and driving. So maybe teens shouldn't be the ones texting and driving. Using a mobile device does 3 things to us. It causes a visual impairment because our eyes are not on the road, a manual impairment because we aren't using our hands on the steering wheel, and a cognitive impairment because our mind is focusing on the text messaging instead of the road. Overall, proof is overwhelming that texting and driving is a dangerous activity. With over 1.3 million car accidents involving a mobile device causing 6,000 deaths that could have easily been avoided. Realizing that crashes happen within the first 3 seconds of being distracted and responding to a text takes a minimum of 5 seconds off your attention off the road. You are also 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident if you're texting and driving. People try to justify that reading a text is safer than responding to one. Holding your phone near your steering wheel is safer because you have better visibility, and that they will increase the distance between the car in front of them. But we all know that none of these will help you stop getting in a car accident unless you stop texting and driving. Driving is a privilege and can easily be taken away from you. Drivers are supposed to have their full attention on the road and the cars around them. If everyone could put down their phone and pay attention, the road could be safer and the lives would be saved. Families wouldn't have to deal with the police informing them that their loved one died because of someone who was texting and driving. People wouldn't have to worry as much about the drivers on the road and know that the roads would be a little safer. Take the pledge to not text and drive. Knowing the facts and information, it's clear to say that you should put down your phone, not text and drive, and put your full attention onto the road. Thank you.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
That was
Good
nice
message
job.
too.
Yay.
Good message underneath